Apple Creator Studio just had a huge new release, including some big updates for Pixelmator Pro. And I'm calling it right now, Pixelmator Pro is kind of the star of this release because now it kind of touches everything in this suite of creative apps. To show you what I mean, let's just jump right into a demo. So to start us off, I have this blank document. And to overcome blank canvas syndrome, I'm going to use the insert menu here and use some of the great options that they have available to me. First of those is the Content Hub. Now the Content Hub, of course, has all of the same features that you saw from the previous videos, but it also has this new option for graphics. Now these are vector graphics. You're looking for things that you can resize without losing any quality. And we'll come back to that. But for now, I already have something picked out that I liked and searched out earlier. So I'm just going to click on this and insert it. As I like to do in these videos, I'm going to show you how I made the thumbnail for this video. So I'm going to start, I have this vision in mind where the roots are centered with the tree here in frame. I've already got my Pixelmator icon and I just need to throw down some text. Now, if you are interested in all of these little things that I'm doing and I'm not spending a lot of time talking about, they're part of my Pixelmator Pro masterclass. So you can go ahead and check that out on my channel. I've got hours of content available for you. All right, so now that I've got this shadow set up just the way that I want, and I've got this text, I have this vision where there's some stylized roots growing out of the text to match. And so to achieve that, I'm going to use another one of these new insert options, which is instead of inserting a shape or browsing the Content Hub for a shape, I'm going to generate a shape with AI. Now I can just type in here and describe what I want this shape to be. And you can see after it thinks for a minute, I have this carousel full of options. I can pick the one I want, or I can reprompt for a different option. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. And you can see that because I had text selected when I did this, it inherited the same styling. But because it's a vector, I can change that styling if I wanted to. Go ahead and get that positioned, and I can now double click into it to get access to the control points if I wanted to maybe change the direction some of these branches are taking. Or I'm just going to go ahead and bring back the distance on that shadow so it blends in a little bit better. Now that looks fine. It's pretty close to the vision I had, but I want to show you one other option that shows off some new features. I'm going to go ahead and select these layers. I'm going to right click to duplicate them, and I'm going to right click to merge. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we have this new option available here. I can right click and go to replace layer and generate from image. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is an image to image AI, which means if I mash everything together, then it has the context of all of my layers together that I can prompt and generate on top of. So I'm just going to go ahead and type out my prompt here. Now that it finishes, you can see I can come up here and flip back and forth and see what I started with, what it gave me. And I actually want to change it. That's a little too much root action for what I was thinking. So I'm just going to prompt it to simplify it again. And so while this is thinking, I just want to take a second to talk about AI in the Content Hub. So because this runs in private cloud compute, and this does consume tokens, and occasionally you're going to see a pop-up telling you you need permission to use a Google image generation service, you want to make sure you just check on whatever the latest thing is for Pixelmator Pro. This is one of those things that I know is going to evolve over time as the cost of compute changes with the world of AI. So just stay on top of it. You can manage that. Okay, now that I've found something that I liked, I can go ahead and insert. And you will notice that it's chaining together different commands like super resolution. That's because AI likes to work in fixed size squares to generate images. So sometimes the size is not quite right. Sometimes the aspect ratio doesn't exactly match the original image. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over to my layer and turn down the opacity just so that I can get it recentered. That looks pretty good right there. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So here's the fun thing. You may have noticed this little button up here in the top corner to return to Keynote. And that's because I originated this session from Keynote. That's right. Every image now in Keynote over here in this image menu will have this option to edit in Pixelmator Pro. You'll see there's other Pixelmator Pro features that are bleeding over, like generate from image, super resolution, remove background. But the cool thing is if I choose to edit in Pixelmator Pro, I can click this button again later, and you'll notice it actually remembers all of my edits and all of my layers. And that's because it makes use of sidecar files. So if you want an explanation of what a sidecar file is, it's basically a tiny Pixelmator Pro file that usually lives in iCloud alongside your other project file here. I have a whole explanation of it in my Pixelmator Pro Photos app integration video, so you can go ahead and check that if you want the longer version. But the short version is you get to keep all your edits and you don't have to keep track of a separate file while you're working on this when it's integrated into other apps. Now I don't have time to go over all of the features in the Creator Studio because there's a lot, But one thing I will call out is it's not just Keynote that's getting access to Pixelmator features. Like I said, it's starting to find its way into almost every corner of the Creator Studio. So if I switch over here to Final Cut Pro, you'll notice another great example is I can come up to File and Share, and I can send a frame of my video directly to Pixelmator Pro, which if you're like me and you're making thumbnails for YouTube videos, can be really handy to grab a screenshot from your video without having to go through the headache of taking a screenshot, bringing it into Pixelmator Pro, the whole shebang. So that's it for Pixelmator 4.3 and Apple Creator Studio updates. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this release, and I'd love to hear how you're going to make use of these new features, especially the get over the blank canvas features in the insert menu. As always, we'll see you next time. Thanks again.